I'm going to go ahead and say the obvious and get it out of the way. That debate last night was a breath of fresh air compared to last week. We don't agree on much as a country, but we all agreed that last week that debate was cringe. It was tough to watch, tough to follow. Obviously, it was 2 against 1. And everybody left feeling like, why did I watch that? Why did I have to sit through that? But this debate last night between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, for what it's worth, was smooth. It was fluid. It had its moments, but for the most part, each side let the other side speak. The moderator, even though the questions weren't really fair and they were biased, the moderator handled it much better than last week. So now that we got that out of the way, who's going to leave a comment as to guess who is going to play the fly on Mike Pence's head on Saturday Night Live this week? We all know that's the big takeaway. That's all anybody's going to talk about is a fly landed on his head. Well, my thought around that is, if that's what you're talking about, that must mean he won the debate. If all you can focus on is the fly on his head, that must mean the other candidate had no takeaways for you. If you just look at this debate on his head, Mike Pence ran circles around Kamala Harris. He handled her. He took her to task on everything from the Green New Deal to packing the Supreme Court to her prosecutorial record. And he also defended President Trump and their administration's response to COVID-19. He called her and Joe Biden out for fear-mongering around the vaccine. He took her to the woodshed. He cleaned her clock. This was a perfect debate. And this is exactly what Trump needs, is some momentum on his side after he's dealt with COVID-19. He's dealt with riots. He's dealt with everything else, fake news stories. He called the troops losers and suckers. Mike Pence was calm, rational. He came off as authoritative. And Kamala Harris, in contrast, was very cringe. Her body language was just awkward. She came off as disingenuous, inauthentic. I mean, the woman is just uniquely unlikable. She's insufferable. At one point, she was like, excuse me, I'm talking. And then I saw people go nuts over it on Twitter. Hashtag I'm talking is trending. But then she turned around and interrupted Mike Pence the next time he spoke. These people are insanely hypocritical. But that's not just it. Kamala Harris is what the country is tired of. I saw this a lot when I lived in Minnesota. You have this smug, snobby, liberal elitism where it's just basically, I think I'm better than you. I know that I'm smarter than you, so let me condescend to you. That part in the debate where she's like, for those of you watching at home, debt means you owe somebody something. She basically insulted the intelligence of anyone over the age of 16. Like, honestly, who doesn't know what the word debt means? Do you see how insulting that is? She insults everybody she talks to. She insults her own base. When she parrots the lies on CNN, good people on both sides. Trump said losers and suckers. And of course, she had to bring up Russia and Putin. I mean, who believes these lies? I mean, it's a simple Google search. She called the Proud Boys white supremacists. It is literally a simple Google search. Click images. You'll see the founder is not white and his name is Enrique. But this is what Kamala Harris thinks of her voters. This is why I think at the end of the day, President Trump will still win this election, even though they're showing he's down in the polls. I know we don't believe in polls, but even like conservative polls, Rasmussen, even like, I don't know, some conservatives are starting to panic and get nervous about Trump losing this election. But I think it's debates like this, Mike Pence cleaning Kamala Harris's clock. Hopefully President Trump will wipe the floor the next time that he and Biden debate. I heard this morning that that might not happen. President Trump might pull out of the second debate because they're trying to make it digital. But it's this kind of exposure to the moderates, the independents, the people who are undecided, that will propel President Trump to victory. Now, of course, I hope President Trump took notes from this debate, because Mike Pence didn't really interrupt Kamala Harris. He let her speak, and that was good, because the more she speaks, the more disingenuous she sounds, the more cringe she looks. I mean, her body language, her facial expressions, her answers. She tiptoed around stuff. She danced around. She flip-flopped. Oh, my gosh. She flip-flopped on the Green New Deal. Mike Pence called out, well, it's on your website. She flip-flopped on packing the court. She flip-flopped on fracking. There's video of Joe Biden saying he's going to ban fracking. There's video of Kamala Harris saying she's going to ban fracking. Mike Pence pointed that out. But the thing is, the more you let these people talk, the worse they look. So President Trump, the worst possible thing he could do next time he debates Joe Biden is interrupt him. Let the man speak. You let the man speak, he's going to look bad. The more he talks, the worse he looks. So I just think that this debate, Mike Pence cleaned her clock. It wasn't even close. I don't care what liberals say. They're going to point out that he had a fly on his head. I'm just saying that's kind of convenient, right? Like the one fly in that big room they were in, and it had to land right on his head during the middle of the debate. I'm just saying, I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's just, you know. But anyway, this debate was good. It looked good for Pence. It looked good for Trump. It's what the country needed, is to hear some calm, rational, reasonable, logical talking, pretty much, from a politician, instead of all the hyperbole and fear-mongering and pandering. Kamala Harris, Tupac, oh my gosh. President Trump apparently bought a ticket or reserved a ticket for Tupac because Kamala Harris last week, again, pandered and got it wrong when somebody asked her, who's the best rapper alive? She said Tupac. So that's just, you can't make this stuff up, guys. People see this. They think Americans are dumb. Americans see right through it. They're catching on. They're waking up. They see the Democrats offer nothing. And that's what I think about this debate. President Trump, I hope you paid attention. I hope you took notes from Mike Pence. Mike Pence did a great job. Kamala Harris is just, she is hard to look at. She's hard to listen to. And he did a great job not interrupting her because she exposed herself. So hopefully President Trump will do that the next debate with Biden. But this was great. This was so great.